There are lots of distributions, but we are right now only concerned with the binomial distribution, the construction of probability distribution table, the normal distribution, and we can also do Poisson distribution, but I will restrict myself to binomial and normal, as only majority of exams require understanding of binomial and normal, and since we have O-level students also, it might get too difficult for them to handle. As I mentioned, statistics is something that we can have multiple episodes only on statistics. So we'll see if there is any possibility of that. Otherwise, the basic functionalities of the calculator will be taught to you today. So I'll start off the question with binomial distribution. And the question is the probability that a salesman will make a sale on a call is 0.3. If he makes 7 calls on a given day, find the probability. Now it's a question of binomial distribution because we have fixed number of trials, which is 7. The probability of favorable outcome is 0.3 because he's making a sale, that is 0.3 probability. If probability of favorable outcome is 0.3, then probability of unfavorable outcome will automatically be 1 minus 0.3, that is 0.7. And we need to find the probability that he makes exactly 3 sales, at most 3 sales, at least 3 sales, and we need to make the probability distribution for this diagram, for this data. So what I have done is I have basically taken into consideration binomial distribution and binomial continuous distribution also, so that I'll just be explaining it to you. So first part is to find exactly 3 sales. Exactly 3 sales, I will press menu, and now I will press 7. In calculator, statistics is divided into 2 sections, menu 6 and menu 7. When we refer to menu 7, we are talking about distribution. When we are in menu 6, we are talking about measures of central tendency. So it's a question of binomial distribution. And do we need a binomial continuous distribution or a binomial probability distribution? PD is probability distribution and CD is continuous distribution. So since I need one fixed value of only one instance when 3 sales, exactly 3 sales are being made. Exactly 3 sales means it's a binomial probability distribution. So I will press 4. Do I need the list of answers or one answer? I just need one answer. So I will press 2. It is asking me X is equals to, X means what do I need to find? I need to find the value, the probability for 3 sales. So I will write 3 and I will press equals to. It is asking me what is N? N is the fixed number of trials. There are 7 trials. Then it is asking me what is the favorable outcome? P is 0.3. And now when I press equals to, it will give me the answer, that is 0.2268945. I hope this is clear. In questions involving binomial distribution, you need the fixed number of trials, you need probability of the favorable outcome. If you subtract the probability of favorable outcome from 1, you get the probability of unfavorable outcome. And once you do that, you are in a position to insert what are the fixed number of trials. So you have fixed number of trials, you have exactly 3 sales, and you have probability of favorable outcome. And in normal cases, you would have done NCR, QN minus R, PR. So the whole binomial function would have to be written. And in this case, all you need to do was put in the values and you got the answer. And since it was exactly 3 sales, therefore you selected binomial probability distribution. What I have done in the next part is, it is at most 3 sales. At most 3 sales means 3 or less. 3 or less means there can be 0 sales, there can be 1 sales, there can be 2 sales, there can be 3 sales. So I have 2 choices of doing this question. Choice number 1, I do the whole process 4 times. Once I write X as 0, second I write X as 1, then I write X as 2, and then I write X as 3. I do the whole process 4 times, is one possibility. The second possibility is, instead I select menu 7, and I scroll down and I select binomial CD. CD means continuous distribution. Continuous distribution means that it will give me all values of 3 and below. So I will press 1. Now it will ask me again, do I need a list or a variable? I only find list when I want the probability distribution table. When I don't want probability distribution table, I will press 2. And now it is asking me what is X? X is 3. Why X is 3? X is 3 because at most 3 sales, the maximum value is 3. N is 7 because fixed number of trial is 7. P is 0.3 because number of favorable outcomes or the probability of favorable outcome is 0.3. So I will press 3 is equals to 7 is equals to 0.3 is equals to, and my answer is 0.873964. So the probability of making at most 3 sales, that is 0, 1, 2 and 3, is 0.873964. I hope this is clear. And I hope you realize if I would have done it manually, there was no other option except doing it for 0, 1, 2 and 3. So I would have to repeat the process 4 times, but with this particular feature, I just need to put in the values and get the answer. So in order to make sure your concept is crystal clear, the next example is at least 3 sales. So what I have done is I took exactly 3 sales, then I took at most 3 sales, and now I'm taking at least 3 sales. At least 3 sales means 3 or above. But when we press continuous distribution and we write 3, we get 3 and below. But I need 3 and above. To get 3 and above, I will need to find the probability of 2 or less, and then using the above method that we just did, we will subtract the answer from 1. So I will press menu, I will press 7, I will scroll down, I will press 1, that is binomial continuous distribution, and I will press 2, that is the variable. And now X will be 2. Why 2? Because whenever we select binomial continuous distribution, whatever number we will select, we will get that number and less. So when we selected 3, we were getting 3 or less. When we select 2, we are getting 2 or less. If we would have selected 5, we would get 5 or less. So in this particular case, we will get 2 or less. So I will press equals to. The fixed number of trials are still 7, and probability of favorable outcome is still 0.3. I will press equals to. I got 0.6470,695. So 0.647 is a correct to 3 decimal place is my probability of at most 2. When I will deduct 1 from it, 1 minus 0.647, I will get 0.353, and that will be my answer. Because as I mentioned earlier, when I press binomial continuous distribution, I get 2 and lesser values. I need at least 3, which means I need 3 and above. So 1 minus 2 and below will automatically give me 3 and above. I hope this answers your question. I hope this makes sense to you. Always remember in exams, when you are talking about exam of statistics, be it S1, S2 or university level statistics, there are some questions that do not directly test binomial. The question might be of normal distribution, or the question might be of other kind of question in which there is a small part in which you have to perform binomial. In that particular case, yes, you can use the calculator, get the answer directly, because in that particular question, your marks for doing the binomial operation would maximum be 1. And in that case, even if you do not show the working, that's acceptable. But in majority of the cases, when you are given a question specifically on binomial distribution and you do not show the workings, you will not get the answer. You will not get the marks. You will only get 1 mark for correct answer only, but you will lose the method marks or the working marks. All right, now if you are told to make a probability distribution table for this particular data, and the data was that there are 7 trials, 7 calls, that is 7 trials, probability of favorable outcome is 0.3, and you wish to make the probability distribution of the data, then you have to once again go to menu 7, and you have to scroll and you have to press 4, and once you press 4, it's asking list or variable. You say list. Why list? Because you need the probability distribution table. Every time you need a distribution table, you need list. When you don't need the table, you just need to find the probability, then you click on variable. I hope by now this is clear. So I pressed the list button. When I press the list button, I will press is equals to, and I will have to enter the values of x from 0 to 7. 0 is equals to, 1 is equals to, 2 is equals to, 3 is equals to, 4 is equals to, 5 is equals to, 6 is equals to, and 7 is equals to. And now I will press equals to. When I press equals to, it is asking me what is the fixed number of trials. The fixed number of trials are 7. It is asking me that what is the probability of favorable outcome. Probability of favorable outcome is 0.3. I will press equals to, and it will make the whole table for me, that when x is 0, the probability is this. When x is 1, probability is this. And I hope you all are aware of the fact that sum of all probabilities in a probability distribution is always 1, because probability always lies between 0 and 1. Probability can never be below 0, and probability can never be more than 1. And sum of all probabilities in a particular situation or a particular distribution will always be 1. I hope this answers your question. I hope this makes sense, and you now know how to make the probability distribution table. So what I did was, I pressed menu, I pressed 7, I selected 4 because I need binomial probability distribution. I press 1 because I need list. I will insert 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because my data will start from 0 and will go up to 7. I hope this is clear. And I will press equals to. When I press equals to, it will ask me what are the fixed number of trials. I will state that the fixed number of trials are 7. Then it will ask me what is the probability of favorable outcome, which is 0.3. And then when I press equals to, it gave me the value of each and every value. What is the value of x as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up till the data was completed. I hope this is clear to all of you. The table actually means is when there were 0 sales. Let's go back to the question. The probability that a salesman will make a sale on a call is 0.3. If he makes 7 calls on a day, find the probability that he made 0 sales. If he made 0 sales, the probability of making 0 sales on any day is 0.082353. The probability of making 1 sale is 0.247. The probability of making 2 sales is this. Probability of making 3 sales is this. Probability of making 7 sales is this. So on and so forth. I hope this answers the question.